Alright, let's talk about 3 times that Kiss was absolutely brilliant. And in this video, I'm not going to be talking about music, and I'm not going to talk about anything that they've done in, say, the last 25 years. I'm going to concentrate on the earlier part of their legacy and talk about the so-called gimmicks or creative devices they used to gain attention and to create a band and a brand that has endured for decades. And I'm going to give you 3 simple points. And in each case, it's not so much that Kiss or people associated with the band originated the technique or creative idea, but Kiss did a good job of refining the idea and fusing ideas together to create a greater whole. Alright, so let's get started right away. My number 3 topic point is when they decided to wear platform shoes as part of their act. Of course, platform shoes have been around since ancient times, and they've been used in theater all the way back to the ancient Greeks. But in the 1960s and 1970s, during the disco era, they got a resurgence of popularity in America, and they were worn by a ton of glam musicians like David Bowie and the New York Dolls and other famous glam performers. However, when Kiss decided to use platform shoes as part of their act, they went a step further and came up with the idea, the master stroke, if you will, that they would all 4 wear them. They would wear them in every single photo shoot. They would wear them every single time they appeared in public. And they would openly embrace the idea that they were doing so to create a mythic, larger-than-life stature. And by doing this, they took what was merely a fashion statement by the other performers and turned it into an image-generating and brand-cementing strategy. It's also very effective when coupled with the overall approach of Kiss's theatrical performances and their choreography, and it shows a great degree of agility on their part to be able to perform in these huge platform shoes, which adds another element of entertainment for the audience. My number 2 point where Kiss was absolutely brilliant is when they decided to feature all 4 members of the band equally, both in the image of the band, in the look of the band, in the promotion of the band, and in the sound of the band. So if you go back to the very earliest albums, they're very careful to mix the records, the early songs, so that you can hear all of the instruments. They are also very careful to give each performer a space on every album and virtually within each song to shine. They also went out of their way to make sure that each member was a singer, whether they took a lead vocal role or they sang background vocals. And this, of course, goes back to the Beatles in terms of band unity, and it also has a lot to do with what Jimmy Page said he envisioned for Led Zeppelin when he put that band together. Being a former guitarist from the Yardbirds, he could have put together the Jimmy Page band and just hired some session musicians to play beside him, but instead he decided to carefully create a band that featured all 4 members equally. Kiss also did this, and I think it really helped them sell the band for a couple of reasons. One is because people love the idea of a band all being unified and living in a shared space and all being brothers. The second is because each member of the band had a different persona, and the audience was therefore able to select from those 4 which was their favorite. And once they had a favorite, they could then have that favorite featured for them whenever they encountered the band. My number 1 time when Kiss was absolutely brilliant was when they took off the makeup. This was a stunt that I think is more important than a lot of people give the band credit for. At the time that they chose to do it, the makeup had already run its course. So if you go back to the Creatures of the Night album, it's a very good album. Musically speaking, it's one of Kiss's best albums. It has pretty good songs on it. It has an incredible drum sound on it. But the packaging and marketing of it was just so out of sync with where everybody was at that time. The makeup had run its course for all except for the most hardcore fans, and the band no longer had its original members. So those 4 strong archetypes from the very beginning of the band are what everyone responded to, and each time that one of the band members was replaced, that original foursome, that original symbolic impact was weak. When they removed the makeup, they formally signaled, hey, this is the end of the old Kiss, and here's the new Kiss. Therefore, they have basically a different band. They went in a different musical direction. They had a different sound, but they retained the same brand. Therefore, they could continue to build off of the reputation and legend status that they created with the original makeup version. And of course, they paved the way to put the makeup back on and capitalize on the nostalgic wave that would surely come their way. So I think that these 3 moves are among some of the smoothest and most brilliant moves that Kiss made, that in a creative business fashion. You could also argue that the Kiss logo is a master stroke so far as gimmicks go and branding goes, because it's immediately identifiable and it can endure throughout all of the various phases of the band, and it is printable on just about any kind of surface, which makes it ideal for merchandising. Anyway, this is what I think, but what really matters is what you think. So if you have an idea about this or any other topic connected to classic or contemporary music, please drop it in the section below, and remember to like and subscribe. Also check out the join button that's available now. If you choose to become a member of the channel, you'll gain access to members only badges, members only polls, members only videos, and some other cool perks you'll see when you click the button. You can also help out the channel by clicking on the Buy Me a Coffee link, going to the site, and leaving a donation. Every little bit helps this channel stay strong. Thanks so much.